Alright, as I do with all my listings, especially on my big items, I like to do videos. So I was kind of debating, to be honest with you, I kind of wanted to keep these axles for my own rig, but just because they're probably the nicest axles I've ever come across as far as the brand. They're Currie axles. This is a pair of axles, the 9-inch front and rear, high pinion front, and they are, in my opinion, and I think a lot of people's opinion out there, from what the reviews and everything says, Currie builds probably one of the top axles out there. They're the toughest axles you can possibly put underneath your rig, especially on a Jeep, considering what they come with stock. I inspected the ring and pinion, pulled the third member out, and you know, they were just, the fluid was awesome in it, super clean. These things don't even have 1,000 miles on them. They have the mount set up for a YJ 87 to 95, with pretty easy swap over to a CJ7 as well. And then you can also put these under a TJ by changing the mounts out and whatnot. So I priced the axles. I know what they are worth new. You're definitely going to save a good chunk of change by buying them, you know, this way, which are technically used axles, but like I said, under 1,000 miles, so not anything on them. The gears on them are 438s, and let's see, they got lockers in them. They're not ARB lockers. They're just lockers. I wasn't able to identify the brand of the locker, but you can see here. Turn the wheel here the same direction. Okay, so that's the rear, and then the front. Oh, and then on the rear axles. So, and just so you know, these are immaculate. There's nothing wrong with these things at all. And just so you know, the rear for your Jeep project, if it is going under a Jeep, is rear disc brakes. So that pretty much all that is there already. You just attach your brake line and you're set to go. I'm including basically hub to hub. So what you're going to see in this video and in the photos, and I'll list this in the ad, is or what you're going to get is the axle housing, of course, the third member of the axle shafts, the hubs on the fronts, and then your rear brake, you know, basically disc to disc, and you know, all that. So what's not included that you're seeing in this video are tires, wheels, leaf springs, spring plates, shocks, you know, the brake line tube here is included, but it separates right there, and that's obviously that's the point that you'll come off. So all that stuff is not included. It is available separately, but it is not included. So so again, rear axle 9. I mean, that thing is the most out. So I put new spindle, or not new spindles, new hubs on this thing. Not because the old ones really were that bad or anything like that, but because I put this has got the upgraded braking system, basically from a Grand Cherokee. So when you go to heavier stuff like this, and especially with the type of motor that's in this particular Jeep and whatnot, this is my Jeep, and I was, like I said, I was planning on I put these axles up in the hopes that I was going to be using them, and unfortunately the shop has taken priority now, and I just can't. I'm not at the point right now where I can take my parts and put them on my own rig. As much as I like to do that, it's just not feasible right now. So anyway, I went to the spindles from a Grand Cherokee, which gives you the high steer. I'll show you on that side over there. Yeah, there's TerraFlex makes a kit like that. Just that piece alone is about, well, just that side is 500, and then you got the rest of it. So so on this guy, again, brand new wheel bearings, and then again, I sealed this. This one's all ready to go. I pulled it, third member and whatnot, and checked the inside and everything. Seals, everything were really nice, nice in it. Shafts are all good, and whatnot. And then you just get a bonus having the bearings on it. And then I put new ball joints on that side, just because I felt like they weren't the right like fitting. They just didn't fit very well. So when I was tightening everything up, I figured, well, I'm already here, I might as well do that. So virtually you're getting a new axle in the front, and you know, like I said, it does have a little miles, but not much on it. And you can just take a look here. And I wish I had the third member out. I was going to take a video before, but I didn't. If you look down there, those are my other parts. I sell Wrangler parts. That's what you're seeing all over here. But those are the stock gear sets, and this thing's really itty bitty. You can see why they're so fragile. This thing was massive. This chunk, this third member chunk that came out of this thing, first off, it weighed a ton, and it just was impressive, just the construction of it and whatnot. So again, they put that 9-inch. It's basically, they call it the forward front 9 in it, and then you can see the Currie stamps there and whatnot on it. So again, on this axle, you're going to get hub to hub. There's no brakes on this one. You're going to put your own disc brakes, and then your calipers and whatnot. And I can tell you what you can do for those, which ones to get and whatnot if you need, or you probably can figure that out if you're this far into a project. So again, this axle is set up for a YJ. You can see how they set all these up for all the mounts, track bar. You got your leaf spring perches and whatnot. But other than that, I mean, you can grind those off and put on TJ mounts and have them welded on just as easy. This will go under a TJ, but this is for the pair of axles. So this listing is for both of these axles. And I normally don't sell axles like this, but since they're a matching pair, it's kind of pointless to sell them one by one, especially with the gears being matching and whatnot. And this does have a locker in it as well. You can see, spin this guy here, and you get the same thing over there. So what else do I know about this thing? I can tell you. So I'm going to include. You are going to get the yoke that goes here, and you can see it here. It's a nice big, strong yoke there. The way it mounts and stuff is quite different than the normal one. And actually, that's not the yoke is actually. Where is that guy? I have it somewhere around here, but anyway, I'll have that put back on there. And yeah, I think that takes care of it. If you have any questions, obviously I'll have the hub nuts back on them as well. They'll pretty much be, for a YJ, just a straight swap. I mean, they'll bolt right up under your rig. I have some other really good parts on this Jeep that I'm going to let go. So if you're interested, like a Atlas transfer case, it's not included, but it is available as well. You can contact me. I might have that one listed today too, I'm not sure. But again, on this one, you're not going to get what's not included, besides the hub-to-hub axle and whatever, all that stuff. You're not getting the leaf springs, the spring perches, the U-bolts, and I think that just about does just as far as axle. And everything else is not, anything else is not included on this. So anything else might be available. You can contact me again, but I'm just not trying to pull too much of this Jeep apart because this is my rig. So. And I appreciate taking a look at the video. I think these are important, and if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to call me, text me, or whatnot. I do take credit cards. Phone orders are always going to save you a little bit of money. In cash will save you the most, and then phone orders the second most, and then lastly, if you do buy these on eBay, they're probably priced a little bit more on there just because the fees on eBay are a little bit higher. So it's always worth your it's always in your interest to call me directly if you can, and if you don't want to do that way, that's fine too. I don't care either way. So I just pass the savings on to you if you do that. So okay, appreciate it, and have a good day. 720-987-8772.